Hey, everyone, and welcome to The Difference, a podcast highlighting leaders who are making a difference in their teams, their stores, and their communities. I'm Alexis Whaley.
And I'm Drew Holler.
Hey, Drew. So who do we have on today?
We have Aaren, who's a team lead in our super center. He runs seasonal. He's been with the company for about 3 years. But what's interesting about him is he was in the test store for me at Walmart and the Samsung devices that we're testing in stores, where each associate gets a Samsung device, a cell phone. And so he was the test store with the development team in the store with him as they developed the product. So he gave them real world examples of what was working and what not working. So he was part of the collective team, folks from the home office and then him in the store, that helped develop me at Walmart. And so we came in contact with him in the test store. He has a great story that he'll talk about and some of the things that he's interested in, and he wants to advance his career as well. But just a really cool opportunity to hear how that process works and how we actually create things as a company. And so I think everybody will get a lot out of the conversation.
I love it. You know, I have an iPhone myself, but I think maybe we should test this out, because I know there are cool characteristics of like the push to talk, which, you know, if you're interested in that, we could test it, see how far the range goes.
Yeah.
I
actually blocked you yesterday, but let me unblock you.
Yeah, and please do.
All
right, let's get into it.
Let's get it.
So when I first started for Walmart, I started out as an automotive service technician.
Okay.
I was going to college at the time for, actually fine arts. And then I had a math teacher. She was a finite math, and she convinced me that I should actually go into business because I was doing really good in her class. So I kind of took what she was saying and tried it out. And I switched over to a logistics emphasis. And
wow.
I knew that Walmart was really big. One of the, first name that popped in my head when I thought logistics. So I just thought I'd get my foot in the door, and I really liked cars, really liked automotive. It was kind of easy. I learned it from my dad. So I just took that as a jump off point and worked in at Store One as a service technician for about 18 months. And then just tried to look for something more, some way to move up. And there weren't really any shop supervisor positions. So I had a conversation with Scott McMillan, the store manager over there. And he was saying that I needed more experience on the sales floor. So I transferred out of there and moved to Cap One. I did that for about a year up in Missouri. And then me and my fiance now, girlfriend at the time, we were moving back to Rogers. And the first store I came across was 4108. And the ACM over there offered me one of the asset protection customer host positions.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was one of the first ones around here to do that, and did that for probably 6 months. And then had a couple conversations with a couple different assistant managers at the time about just showing interest in wanting to move up. And one of them actually kind of took me up on my offer and got with the store manager. And next thing I knew, I was a GM support manager, just kind of jumped a bunch of levels there.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of out of my element, but everyone was really nice. I got with Justin. He showed me a lot up there. And then we switched over to the new system. So now I'm the seasonal team lead over there, running garden center and seasonal, which is heavy load. There's a lot of plants, but we it's pretty fun. It's been a lot of fun.
That's good, man. So how long, 3 years with Walmart?
Yeah. November 8th, 2016.
Good for you, man.
17.
Nice.
Good for you, man.
When I was in high school, one of the classes that I actually took an interest in, because nobody has an interest in school in high school.
Yeah, sure.
No, I'm just kidding. But I took Spanish first, and I really liked it. I got really good grades in there. And then they started French the next year. And so I started taking French and Spanish. And then just to be mean to myself, when I got to be a junior, I went ahead and threw German on top of it. So I was taking all three. And then when I went to INWAC, actually they started offering Chinese. So I didn't take the other ones. I just started pursuing Chinese. So that's why I was doing fine arts, because I just wanted to be a translator. I just wanted to talk to people.
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
What interests you in languages?
Yeah.
Well, to me, it's kind of like math. I mean, it follows a formula, like building sentences follows a formula. And I think one of the things that made me want to be an interpreter and a translator was because, it's just nice to be able to break that barrier and help people, because I mean, working out on the sales floor, there's a lot of times where I need someone to help me translate something to somebody else, and they're just looking for something simple, and I just don't understand. And I don't want that to ever be an issue.
Yeah, sure. That's cool, man. What was your favorite language you learned?
Well, it was French for a long time, and then I really got into Chinese. So I think it's the hardest one.
Yeah, that's the hardest one I hear.
Struggle. Yeah.
I feel like you probably know what question is probably going to happen next. Can you say something to us in one of those languages? I don't know. Drew, will you give him a sentence to say?
You say what you want to say, and then I'll translate it back to you.
All right.
Actually, Alexis, let you say something in Chinese, and Alexis will translate back.
Yes.
Okay. 我有一个问题.
I heard Drew has started learning about Dungeons and Dragons.
It actually means I have a question.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Oh, yes.
All right. Good for you.
Wow, that's
awesome, man. What's some of your passions outside of work other than that?
My fiance and I, we have an 8-year-old kid. So he loves to do art. We actually just learned how to do like sun catchers with beads, melting beads.
Cool.
So yeah, that's been a lot of fun. But I'm not very artistic in that way. So I kind of just, I'll heat them up. I'll do all the dangerous sides of it.
Yes,
so
perfect.
So we do that. I like to fish. I love fishing. My dad taught me about that, and my grandpa. So that's been a long time in me. I used to skateboard a lot. I learned that from my older brother. And that's kind of stuck with me. But I play video games a lot. On Sundays, I usually have a standing meeting where we play D&D every Sunday. So yeah, that's why I was kind of like,
2 in a row, Alexis.
Just, yeah.
How is this possible? Have I been living under a rock or what? I don't know.
This is great. Aaren, are you a dungeon master or are you one of the players?
So when I started out, I was actually working at Store One in the shop, and a couple guys out there were like, "We've never played before. Have you ever played?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, I played some characters before," and they were like, "Okay, well since you've played, you're going to be our DM." I was like, "Oh, I've never done that before." That's how I started with them, and then now I'm just a regular character, which I think is a lot more fun.
That's really neat. I think it also helps kind of play into other characteristics and aspects like within your daily life. So like I know my friends and I, when we play, we sometimes weave some things from work, from personal lives. So I can only imagine that, having some of that in your free time is also helping aid some stuff in your in other areas of your life too.
Absolutely. I think just role playing a character. I mean, because you get into a situation where you have to say something as a character. You got to come up with something off the cuff. And if you're around a lot of people you're uncomfortable with, you're like, well, I still got to do it, So it kind of gets a lot of stage fright out of the way.
Yeah.
No, that sounds like podcasting.
Exactly. Being very resilient.
All right, Aaren. So you're at Walmart. You're a team lead over seasonal. And you and I have actually interacted in the store, but we have recently rolled out some tools which was me at Walmart. And now the whole country has them, but your store had them at the very beginning, and bringing those tools to life inside the store. Tell us a little bit about that journey, and not just what Me at Walmart does, but about the journey. So they started testing this in your store, and you were one of the very first team leads ever to have access to this. And then the design team was in there with you, right? And so kind of walk through what that process has been, because this has been going on for months, right? We've been testing this with you for months.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess the first thing to say is that there was a lot of signing on, a lot of getting kicked out and a lot of signing back on and doing the two-step. That was a big thing. But when it first came out, I mean, it was kind of really hard to not have the original TC70 Zebra. It was really hard to get used to having that. And then jumping over some of the hurdles while they figured out exactly what we needed in there. So having to go back and be like, oh, wait, I need a TC70 and I need this phone. And then I have my personal phone. So at some point you're carrying around 3 or 4 different devices. So, I mean, having Ollie and Tisha and them in the store to actually come around and show us all those things. I mean, I don't know. I'm one of those guys where if I get a hands-on, if I get it shown once to me, I really kind of just pick it up. And the more I use it, the more, it just becomes second nature. So from the very beginning, I mean, it was Ask Sam. It was super useful. Then they implemented it into the Me at Walmart, and it was just so useful and so easy once I saw how good it was. But I mean, it's made it a lot easier working in the store. It's made it helping people, just like, I mean, it goes from, well, let me walk around all these different aisles to let me just type something in real quick and I'll get you straight to it.
Up, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Ali and others, they were actually in your store. So these are the folks that made the app. Is that right?
Yeah.
And they were in the store talking to you, and I guess getting feedback from you as well.
Yeah. I mean, they walked me through how to do everything. And then they were there almost every day to see like which problems were popping up to help. I mean, they were recording my screen as I was getting the issues. I mean, they were really intent. They were really into it. They were really attentive to everything, and invaluable. I mean, they helped the whole process and made it easier for me. And I think one of the biggest things was I had one day where, they were walking around our store just trying to show it to new people. And I was doing the same thing because I knew how important it was. So I was doing it with my associates. And I remember Tisha just calling me out, just like, oh, well, you got any trouble, just throw him over to Aaren. I've seen him train all kinds of new associates. And I'm like, I don't know about that. You're the expert. So
now you're talking now you're on a podcast talking about it. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Be careful what you wish for, Aaren. Be careful what you wish for. Good. I think a lot of people don't understand or don't have the opportunity to understand, how do these things come to life? And how they come to life is we get really good ideas from, individuals and stores around the country. We take those ideas or those problems, and then the team really focuses on how to solve them. But then we take a store and we test it, and what we do is we iterate through it. So probably every couple of weeks they were making improvements over months until they got it to where all the bugs were out of it. They solved the problems they were trying to solve. And then we go to a few more stores and we get some more feedback, and we do that for a while, and we iterate, and then we eventually get to where we roll it out to chain. So what you saw that rolled out to the stores last week was the culmination of probably a year's worth of effort and iteration with the teams, with stores, and iteration with the product team to get that to where it is today. And it's a process, but it's a process that's really built on getting feedback from the users, getting feedback from people like yourself to make it better. And I feel like Me at Walmart, we did a really good job of that. It's very user-friendly.
I think so too, yeah.
It solves some problems, and it gives us a platform that we're going to build. Like, you'll continue to see more and more features that arrive with Me at Walmart over time. What's your favorite feature that they have on the app right now?
Well, so the most useful one to me is being able to see if it's in the nearby stores. Like when I have a customer that needs something, not only can I just type in a description, not knowing the name of the item at all, but I can just type in a description and then I'll have a picture I can show them. When I click it, then there's just, if my inventory is 0, I can just hit check nearby stores and there's just a list and I can send them off to another Walmart. That's been really helpful because before I'd get asked that all the time and it's either I want to be helpful. So it's like, yeah, I'll call a store, but I can't call every store for the customer. Yeah. It just takes too much time and now I don't have to.
Which feature is that within Ask Sam? Which feature is that in?
That is within Ask Sam.
So it's within Ask Sam. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
awesome.
You can do it scanning a barcode. I mean, if you have a barcode, you can scan it. I mean, you can type in a description, any of that, and there's just a little link right there. And when I first saw that, I was like, oh, what does this do? And then after that, it's just changed how I interact.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Changes everything, huh? Yeah, I do think this is a change. This is a change everything type of moment for sure. Mm-hmm. Now, you guys are also testing the devices, the Samsung devices too, right? In your store?
Yeah, we sure are. Yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
About the Samsungs?
Yeah. Or tell everybody what we did in the store.
Well, so first, I think we came out with the a specific Zebra, separate one, the TC21s, and we were using those. And I think I had heard that we were trying to get away from the scanner. It's more versatile, more universal to use a camera instead of the scanners. And so then they handed us this Samsung, told us we could put our SIMs into it, put our own SIM card into it and use it for everything. And at first it was, it takes, obviously anything takes a little time to get used to. But so at first I'm carrying around the Samsung and all this stuff. So it just added another device to my pocket. But when I realized that, this is the other apps that they've put into it, and how quick the camera just focuses on the barcodes. I mean, how there's like a couple extra buttons on it that I can kind of program myself to like turn on a flashlight. If I'm going into like a trailer, I can just hit that button, turn on, it's useful. That thing's been like a multi-tool almost.
Yeah. That's awesome. So every associate, first of all, we tested multiple devices. So this goes back to like we talked about with me at Walmart. There was 3 or 4 devices. They were constantly churning through the store to find the best one. And we landed on Samsung. And everybody in the store got one of these devices. And it's a device that you can use in the store, but you can also use it outside the store too for personal use as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And even the associates that don't have their own smartphones, they're using them. I mean, I've gotten with a couple of mine, and I mean, it's just a walk through, just let them hold on to it and just run through, just give them a step-by-step of it. And I mean, they use it every day. And like you said, every single associate has one in the store. So there's no more fighting over TC70s.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really nice. And
yeah, that's awesome.
Well, and like you were talking about, I mean, me at Walmart, one of the functions that's really, we kind of glazed over is the push to talk. So now that everybody has a device in the store, I can I can contact any associate, or any associate can contact me if they need help. So there's no more isolation. I mean, that's really cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So it kind of works like a Walkie Talkie as well.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, there's times where, we kind of just back and forth, and they've added a few new features on how to get your attention with it. So there's a lot of ringing noises going on.
Yeah, but, I heard the last time I was in here, the ringing sound was a little too low. And then it's like everybody in the store can hear the ringing sound.
Yeah. So that's the development that, I mean, we've kind of gone through, was just that kind of like, oh wait, I couldn't hear that. And now it's like, now everyone heard that.
Yeah. You got to find the middle ground somewhere.
Yeah.
That's great.
But it's a work in progress. I'm glad to have it.
Sure. Yeah, they're awesome. So Aaren, your dad works for Walmart, or used to work for Walmart, is that right?
Yeah, he still works for Walmart Vision Center. He's
okay. What does he do?
Optician.
Oh, okay.
Kind of jumped the gun on that. Yeah, he's a licensed optician out at in Salem Springs.
Oh, okay. Great.
But he's jumped around to a lot of stores in the past. I think I actually talked to him the other day to get an exact date. I think he started in 96.
Wow.
Wow. Great.
Yeah. So it's like coming up on 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy, man. Did he kind of inspire you to come and work for Walmart as well, or?
Well, I mean, yeah, in a way, he always had a stable, stable income through Walmart, and it's always kind of been there for him. It's done him really good. I mean, he's done really well, and seeing him move up and be a part of this company, I mean, it's been really helpful to know that it's possible, being able to see it firsthand, how it's just so close, and all you got to do. I mean, I've had a lot of conversations with him about it, and I mean, makes it to where you can see it. And if you don't give up, you can go after it. And he was a big part of it.
That's good, man.
That's awesome.
What's next for you at Walmart? What do you want to do next in your career?
For me, man, the thing is Walmart's so big, and there's so much to do if you include home office and operations. So, I mean, honestly, I don't want to limit myself by saying I want to do this specifically, because I don't want to, but at the same time, I mean, I just want to keep rolling with whatever we got going. If that next step is the next step as in coach, or if I, can finish off my degree and move into the more home office side, then, so be it. I'd love to do that. Or, maybe one of these days I can move into some aspect of Walmart that'll help me translate. I mean, because that's always what I wanted to do. So
that's right.
Being a global company, it seems like, that's something invaluable. So
that is invaluable. You're absolutely right. And we have associates all over the world, right? That we interact with, and that support our customers, which is great. Yeah, the world is open for you. There's what I tell people all the time: where there's 2 million jobs at Walmart, you can find at least one that you really like. There's a lot of opportunity out there. You got to be flexible. You have to be have a good work ethic and perform well. But if you do that and you have an open mind and are flexible, man, there's so many opportunities. We have supply chain that's growing. We have fulfillment that's growing. Our digital space, even inside of our stores. We have technology jobs that are really taking off. And it's really just every job under the sun at Walmart that you can apply yourself to if you think through it. So that's awesome. I hope you have an opportunity to continue to grow your career, which I'm sure you will.
Thanks. Yeah, I know I will. Just from what's happened with Walmart so far. I mean, they take notice of people that are trying out there. And
that's right.
I mean, that's all the associates that I work with that are on my team. I mean, that's the same thing I tell them. Don't be afraid to fail, because that just means there's another job for you to try out. I mean, there's another role.
That's right.
So
that's right. Yeah, we got to be willing to push ourselves to where we do stumble every once in a while, right? As a company and as individuals. If not, you're not really pushing yourself or the company forward. Absolutely. So obviously, since you're in seasonal and run the garden center, you clearly are buying your own products.
Thank you.
You have plants all over your house.
Bring that up. Yes. Look at all that greenery. I'm jealous.
Absolutely.
I can't grow anything.
They're not so hard when you're out there looking at all the products that help them grow. You see all that stuff every day. So it's kind of like, plus being in the garden center, I see what causes them to die.
Yeah, there you go.
Just avoid that.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, don't water them.
Yeah, water them. Lots of light. But I don't do it alone. So that's also, I have a fiance that she loves them. So that's why.
That's awesome.
That's why they're alive. All credit to her.
Good for you. That's great.
So I think Drew usually asks this question, but being on a podcast and knowing that this will probably go out to many, many people who are interested in hearing about you and your story, what is something that you would like to leave us with, whether it's advice, whether it's something that we can help follow up on, or anything that's been kind of going on with you? What would be the one thing that you'd leave us with?
If there's one thing that if I were just in the ear of everyone, it would just be that, I mean, I think one thing that's helped me, that's been important for me to remember is that as cheesy as it sounds, I am part of a team. This is my team. And that's like how I kind of run my garden center. That's how I run all the teams. Like, it's not so much me running it. It's just kind of like me helping direct it. All the people that need help in my area, I need help too. And like, my management makes me feel like part of a team, and I just try to pass that on. And I just look for the tools that they need to get the help. And then if I'm in a better position to get it, or if, I know there's somebody else that's in a better position to get the help that I need. So I just identify them and just keep your eyes out for other people that need that help. I mean, because we all do. And, just recognize which tools you have to help everyone else, because guarantee you have something that can help someone else.
That's right.
Yes.
We you work as a team lead, work 40 plus hours a week, right, at the store. And if we're going to spend that amount of time, we might as well work to be the best we can be and to really enjoy our job, right? If we're going to be there.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that's what you do. You come to work every day. You want to make a difference. Being part of a team is what makes the job exciting. It makes it rewarding. Really improves your experience. And so it's not. I don't think it's cheesy at all. It's something. If we're gonna spend this amount of time together, we might as well enjoy each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I know you got a lot going on, and especially with the garden center this time of year. But I really want to appreciate you for giving feedback to the teams that are doing the development of Me at Walmart and the devices. They've been very complimentary of what the feedback that you've given, and they say you really helped kind of shape how they developed that product. And that product now is in the hands of over 1 million people. So I really want to appreciate you. You're making a difference, not just in your area, in your store, but you're making a difference for the 1 million associates that are now having the benefits of having that product in their hands. So from me to you, just thank you for being willing to do that.